I can still hear her laugh. That sharp, cutting kind that doesn't sound like joy. It sounds like a blade scraping glass. The backyard smelled of smoke and cheap mustard. Paper plates sagged under burgers. My father was already drunk enough to pretend he wasn't. My siblings circled each other in their usual hierarchy, competing for scraps of her approval. Then she looked at me, not past me, not through me, right at me, and she said it. If you disappeared tomorrow, no one would even notice. The table erupted. They laughed like it was the funniest thing in the world, even the kids. I didn't. I raised my hot dog, calm, deliberate, my voice barely above the sizzle of the grill. Challenge accepted. And that night, I vanished. I didn't run away in chaos. I didn't scream, slam doors, or leave a note begging for their attention. That would have been too easy for them, something to dismiss, to mock. No, I disappeared in silence. I drained my accounts the week before, sold what little I owned in cash. Months of preparation, sparked by years of quiet neglect. I had been planning something, though at the time I didn't know what. Her words gave it shape. Her cruelty gave it purpose. By morning, my room was empty. Phone off, identity shed like dead skin. To them, I was gone. At first, I watched from a distance. Not physically, I wasn't stupid. But records, traces, the little paper trails families leave behind. My sister's social posts, my father's credit slips, my mother's smiling face at church luncheons, pretending her family was whole. The first week, nothing. They joked about me, I'm sure, said I was dramatic, that I couldn't last. But silence grows heavier with time. By the second month, they stopped mentioning me in public. By the sixth, whispers started, neighbors asking, friends pressing, "Where's your daughter?" My mother smiled through it. She's fine, off doing her own thing. But I knew the cracks were forming. Disappearance is an art. People think it's about vanishing completely. It isn't. It's about leaving just enough shadow to haunt. So I fed the silence. An anonymous card slipped into their mailbox on Christmas with no signature. A voicemail left late at night, just breathing, then a click. Small, almost nothing, but enough. They started locking their doors more often. My father bought a new security system. My siblings avoided going out after dark. I was everywhere and nowhere. And they began to fear me, not because they thought I'd harm them, but because they realized they never really knew me at all. A year later, I returned. Not to their faces, not yet. I wanted to see them first. The same backyard, another summer barbecue, the same cheap mustard, the same plastic cups, the same rituals of a family that fed on cruelty. But they looked different, thinner, uneasy. My mother's smile strained, like it was nailed into her face. My father drank more heavily, trying to drown something he couldn't name. I stood across the street, hood up, watching. Not a ghost, not a runaway, something sharper. Then I made my move. The invitations had gone out weeks before. I'd planned it meticulously. A family reunion notice, addressed from the church committee, slipped into their mailbox. A rented hall, decorated, catered, every detail paid for in cash. They arrived dressed for photographs, ready to show the world their happy lie. The doors locked behind them. No one else came. At first they thought it was a mistake, then confusion, then fear as the lights dimmed and the projector lit up. Photos, videos, every word they'd said about me when they thought I was gone. Every cruel joke, every dismissal, every whisper caught on tape because I'd been recording for years. I had hidden cameras at holidays, mics in gifts I'd forgotten to take home. And there it was, all of it, projected in front of them. Their own voices, laughing, mocking, tearing me down. They sat in silence, pale, brittle, unable to look at one another. Finally, my mother's voice echoed across the hall. That line, the one that started it all. If you disappeared tomorrow, no one would even notice. And then, my reply, from that night. Challenge accepted. The screen went black. I didn't need to say a word, didn't need to show my face. When the doors clicked open again, they walked out broken. Neighbors asked how the reunion went. No one answered. The story of that night became another silence in their lives, too heavy to carry, too dangerous to tell. And me? I'm still gone, still vanished, but not forgotten. Never again forgotten. She was wrong. When I disappeared, they noticed. They'll never stop noticing. That's the beauty of revenge. It isn't fire, it isn't blood, it's silence. A silence so loud it drowns them.